Has one ever felt a strange pull and push in relationships? A deep desire for connection, but also a nagging fear of getting too close, or of making a long-term commitment. In today's world, terms like ghosting and situationships are common, reflecting a growing struggle to form deep, lasting bonds. But why is commitment so hard for some? And is it truly a fear of commitment, or something deeper, a fear of intimacy itself? Today, this video will explore the psychological and philosophical roots of these fears, guided by the profound insights of Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, and the existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre, Simone de Beauvoir, and Søren Kierkegaard. They offer powerful lenses to understand why deep connection can feel so daunting, and how one can move towards more fulfilling relationships. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, taught us that our adult relationships are deeply shaped by our unconscious mind and our early childhood experiences. He proposed that we go through psychosexual stages of development, like the oral, anal, and phallic stages, where we learn about pleasure, control, and our identity. If conflicts in these early stages aren't fully resolved, Freud suggested, we can get stuck or have a fixation. These fixations can show up as personality traits and, crucially, as difficulties in adult relationships. For example, someone stuck in the oral stage might struggle with dependency, while an anal fixation could lead to control issues or rigidity in a partnership. This can manifest as an immaturity and an inability to form fulfilling relationships as an adult. Freud also introduced the Oedipus complex for boys and the Electra complex for girls, a term coined by Jung. These describe unconscious attractions to the opposite sex parent and rivalry with the same-sex parent during childhood. If these feelings aren't resolved, one might unconsciously choose romantic partners who resemble their opposite sex parent. This creates a kind of love map that can lead to repeating old family dynamics, even if they're unhealthy, making true commitment feel complicated or even threatening. Furthermore, Freud saw fear of intimacy as a possible defense mechanism. An unconscious way the ego protects itself from unresolved psychological conflicts from childhood. It's a shield against potential pain or vulnerability. Carl Jung, who expanded on Freud's ideas, believed that our struggles with intimacy often stem from unconscious conflicts or neglected aspects of ourselves. He called these neglected parts the shadow archetype. The shadow holds all the traits, desires, and emotions we've repressed because we find them uncomfortable or unacceptable. A fear of intimacy can be directly linked to an unintegrated shadow. If one hasn't fully confronted and accepted their own dark or imperfect parts, they might fear that their partner will reject or judge them if these hidden aspects are discovered. This fear can lead to emotional withdrawal, trust issues, and a reluctance to fully engage in the relationship. Jung also introduced the Anima, the unconscious feminine aspect in men, and Animus, the unconscious masculine aspect in women. These inner figures are often projected onto romantic partners, leading to idealized views and unrealistic expectations. One might fall in love with an illusion, the embodiment of their own unconscious inner image, rather than the real person. When these projections are strong, Jung called it anima, animus possession. This can create intense, passionate feelings, but it's also dangerous and destructive because one unconsciously tries to force the partner to embody this ideal. When the partner inevitably fails to live up to this impossible standard, it leads to disappointment, conflict, and emotional distance, making true intimacy feel overwhelming or impossible. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre, Simone de Beauvoir, and Søren Kierkegaard offer a unique perspective on the fear of commitment, focusing on freedom, choice, and authenticity. Sartre famously stated that existence precedes essence, meaning we are born without a fixed purpose. We create our own meaning and identity through our choices. This radical freedom, however, comes with immense responsibility and can lead to anxiety. Kierkegaard described this as the dizziness of freedom, the overwhelming feeling of having infinite possibilities and the burden of choosing just one. For some, the idea of committing to one person or one path feels like closing off countless other possibilities, leading to a deep-seated anxiety of choice that manifests as commitment. Phobia. Sartre also introduced the concept of bad faith. This is when one denies their own freedom by conforming to external pressures or adopting social roles rather than living authentically. In relationships, This could mean avoiding true commitment to escape the responsibility of a genuine choice, or pretending to be someone they're not to fit a partner's expectations. This leads to inauthentic relationships, where one is not truly present. Simone de Beauvoir, Sartre's partner, argued that authentic love should augment freedom, not diminish it. If a relationship feels like a cage or demands the sacrifice of one's individuality, it can trigger a fear of commitment. The fear isn't of the person, but of losing oneself in the process, or of denying one's own freedom and potential. Understanding these deep theories is powerful, but how can one apply them? To overcome the fear of intimacy or commitment. 1. Become a self-detective. Freud. Explore your past. Reflect on your childhood relationships with parents or caregivers. Were there unresolved conflicts or patterns that might be influencing your current fears? Journaling about these early experiences can reveal a lot. Identify defense mechanisms. When you feel the urge to pull away or avoid intimacy, ask yourself, am I denying something? Am I displacing frustration? Am I rationalizing my fear? Recognizing these shields is the first step to lowering them. Integrate your inner world. Jung. Face your shadow. What qualities in others make you uncomfortable or critical? These might be aspects of your own shadow. Accepting these parts of yourself reduces the fear of being judged or rejected in intimacy. Balance. Anima, Animus. Work on developing both your inner masculine and feminine energies. For men, embrace empathy and intuition. For women, cultivate assertiveness and logic. A more balanced inner self leads to more realistic expectations of partners and reduces the need for them to complete you. Move beyond projections. Recognize when you're falling in love with an ideal rather than the real person. This awareness allows for a more genuine connection. Embrace your freedom, existentialists. Acknowledge your choices. Recognize that you are always free to choose, even when it feels scary. This empowers you to take responsibility for your relationships. Live authentically. Be true to yourself, not to what you think others expect. This builds relationships based on genuine connection, not bad faith. Define your own love. Don't let societal norms dictate what your relationship should look like. Create a partnership that augments your freedom and growth. Communicate openly. Share your fears and vulnerabilities with your partner. Honest communication, even about difficult emotions, builds trust and intimacy. Set clear boundaries that respect both your needs and your partner's. Seek professional guidance. If these fears are deeply ingrained or overwhelming, a therapist specializing in psychodynamic, Jungian, or existential approaches can provide invaluable support. The fear of commitment or intimacy is a complex human experience, deeply rooted in our unconscious past and our existential freedom. Freud shows us how childhood echoes can create our love map. Jung reveals how our hidden inner world shapes our perceptions and expectations. And the existentialists remind us of the profound responsibility and anxiety that come with our freedom to choose. By understanding these powerful forces, one can begin to untangle the knots that prevent deep connection. It's a journey of self-discovery, courage, and authenticity. By facing these fears, one not only transforms their relationships with others, but also, and most importantly, their relationship with themselves. The path to true intimacy is a path to becoming more whole. If this video helped you understand the fear of intimacy and commitment better, please hit the like button. Your support helps us reach more people seeking to build deeper, more authentic connections. Subscribe to the channel for more profound explorations into psychology, philosophy, and the fascinating world of human relationships. And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Have you experienced these fears? What was your biggest insight from this video? Share your thoughts and join the discussion. See you next time.